Spider-Man 2 is awesome. I mean, from beginning to where I'm at now, I have enjoyed pretty much every bit of the mechanics they've added to it. I kid you not, I feel like I've just reconnected with porn again. The first time ever seeing a pair of titties. It's just amazing. Everything about it kind of just slapped off the cuff. I couldn't even like put into words at first like what I was seeing. So the first game, if you haven't played Spider-Man and you've lived under a rock, it's a great game. It's an amazing retell of Spider-Man. The people that were on it, that did everything, the writers, everybody in Insomniac, perfect game. Just like with John Wick, I didn't know that every single every single sequel could get better and better. Spider-Man 2 does that. Now, I'm only in the beginning parts of the game. I'm not in late game. I haven't beat the story. I'm not trying to speed run the whole game for you. I'm being casual with it. When I buy a game, I like to enjoy every nook, every cranny. Sometimes I'll just sit there and just enjoy the mechanics themselves. The fact that you get to fucking swing like Spider-Man, and they got the swinging better this time. It wasn't even bad last time. I didn't think it could be better, but they did do better. Now, I don't think this is a hot take to say this is actually a good game this year. It might not be game of the year, but as far as like a superhero title, next to Batman, this is right below it. As far as getting a character right, getting everything right, getting his mechanics right to where you can play it and feel like you're that superhero. Because like I said, Batman was the first time they did it. They did amazing this time. And it's really good to see Marvel actually have a good game to come out. That's just not some licensed garbage that came out. I own a few of the licensed games. They are horrible. I bought Captain America just because it was cheap, and I bought it and brought it home, and now I have it with full box, and it's more of a collector's thing. I own a lot of the old Spider-Man games, and when I say this one right here is just top tier, it is top tier. It may not have the best exact story, because it's super simple. It's always hero has problem. Here's some bad guys. Spider-Man, be Peter Parker. You know, it's the balance. But on the other hand, it's beautiful. All of the costumes, which is a big thing. It's always been a mainstay in Spider-Man. They've always had multiple costumes you could pick from. So that being said, they have a lot of costumes. Not to mention they have color scheme changes from some of the costumes. While I don't care about some of the color scheme changes, I do like them on certain ones. I don't know if you can tell, my attire is not very colorful. I really don't. At work, I wear grays, I wear blacks. I don't really care about color scheme. They have a lot of good quality, like, they got a lot of good color schemes that I like, that are darker toned. They do have bright ones, which, you know, Spider-Man is a very brightly red, you know, a very dark red, but still, he's very colorful, but they still give you that darker tone costumes too, which I like. They really get they really get the GTA mix that they had with 5, where like you could run into each other. They got that in there, which is pretty cool. It's really nice to be able to go to, you know, the calls, and I know it's already going to be, you know, it's going to get stale eventually, but it's still really cool that you get to go around the city. Oh, I got a crime I got to go help with, and boom, there's Miles there, or you're Miles, and you know Peter Parker's there. That is amazing. That is a good. They got a good balance going with that. What I actually think is completely funny that this is such a great game that came out, and right before it came out, Skull Island came out. Now that's a game I'm not even going to buy that and try to play it. I like shitty games sometimes if they're just mechanically good. Or there's something just, you know, just something kind of funny about it, something that would be enjoyable. There's nothing enjoyable from the videos. I didn't even know it came out. And I do like, you know, ghost dropped games, like stuff you just don't know about. And as soon as they just drop it out of nowhere, I love it. You know, there's a lot of games that would be like that I can enjoy. That's not one of them, but I'm not going to get into that game because I think there's plenty of people that's already did videos. If you haven't watched them, please just type it up, look them up. They're fucking horrible. Now, I'm not going to get into the details of the story. I'm just going to kind of give a little bit of a recap of the first hour because it's good. It hits very hard. You know, your start menu is just hit start, but it's got the symbiote in the tank. It's got Venom in the tank. So anyway, like I said, Harry's looking at it, and then you hit start. Well, it instantly transitions to the game. You got Connor's there. He doesn't speak. And then you got his dad. And then while Norman and him are having their conversation, it seems a little bit skeptical. But anyway, it skips forward. You also get to see Craven, who fucking kills a guy. That's and the fact that they have that so easily. I mean, this isn't just like, oh, I blew a guy up and it's just like a video game style explosion where you don't see nothing. The first one had that. This one actually has him holding a guy in his hand and he just crushes him with his bare hand. That's brutal, and that's Craven. That's Craven for you. There, I got him pretty much ready to go. He's got this whole list, which is from the trailer. You see this whole list. It's just he's got all these different superhumans that he wants to go after. Now I haven't got very far to see him in it yet, but it's already I battle. You fight Sandman, and that's a big kicker in the beginning. Really shows how they work well together. That their scientific mind, how smart these two are. When you got Miles and Peter throwing in the fact that they're geniuses, they actually are able to mold their powers, but in conjunction with their intellect. I am all over the place. I just woke up and I'm kind of just being very sporadic and trying to wake up in general. But they got a new system where it's the wingsuit, which is very famous from the old from some old stuff. They did it in the new Spider-Man movies, which I really like that they have that in there and it actually using it. But in this one, you have what are like slipstreams, kind of they're air pockets or whatever you want to call it in the city, where when you use it, instead of gliding down, you get to shoot through the city. So on top of a fast travel system that lets you pretty much go anywhere instantly, like there is not, oh, this section I come out here. No, it's literally you can go anywhere instantly. Now that your traversal is, sorry about that, my lights weren't on and the camera was having trouble focusing. Anyway, now the traversal in the game is just peak. It's amazing. It's fast. I assume it's because the PS5 is able to handle it at that speed. I mean, you can get from A to B. You can get across New York in a blink. I mean, it's way faster than the first one. So they're definitely utilizing the PS5 to a very heavy potential. About as much as I'm going to say on it. If you haven't bought it, please go buy it. Like the title is going to say, I also have one little nitpick. YouTube boxing. I think we can all agree the Dylan versus Logan Paul fight. Why do people still watch this? I don't understand. I saw the Dylan hype, and I kind of kept up with it. I thought it was crazy, but YouTube boxers don't really box boxers. And I'm not understanding this. That would be like putting me in the ring with them. I'm too fat. There's no way I'd do better against Boogie. But you're talking, Dylan talked a lot of hype that he was going to whoop his ass. I mean, that's just selling the cards. That's selling it. That's what they do. And I can't tell, but there's a lot of allegations going on with that, but I'm going to talk about the allegations themselves. I'm talking about YouTube boxing in general. Why? I get it's just an entertainment thing, but I don't understand why they're hyping these people up as boxers when they're not boxers. They're, 4 for 0, 1 for 0, 2 for 0, all this bullshit, but they haven't fought boxers. They fought retirees and people just not in their prime. You have a set time to be like peak physical badass. And you can't even tell me some of those ain't even fake. In my opinion, I have to say opinion because I don't want them to come whining about it, but you could tell that they're just, it seems really fakish. Like they're taking these hits, obviously, but it just seems like it's a parade at this point. They just do it for show. And I don't think a lot of people are really looking into that as much. I think they're just more placating it and just saying it instead of actually believing it. I think they're just kind of like monkeying it. They're dittoing everything they see and go, oh, well, they're obviously boxing. But I don't think you realize that it's a guy. And on top of that, you also got like Logan Paul and Jake Paul who train. They do train. I'm not taking away the fact they train. But like, we'll use Jake Paul, for instance, training for the last 4 or 5 years, going up against people that probably just do jiu-jitsu. When you're restricting that, you're not going to be able to win. You are at a very heavy disadvantage. And that's pretty much what they're doing. I don't understand how they're just, I understand that people are just blindly watching it. But the fact that people are willing to go and look, I had no interest other than what Dylan was saying. I thought it was hilarious that he was just outing this guy's girlfriend the whole time. And I believe pretty much 90% what he was saying. And I can't wait to see what that picture is he's talking about. The unsolicited, somehow he got a photo. I want to see it. It's got to be worse than what he's been saying. What's worse than that? It has to be either the person's underage that's in the photo, or it's like an animal. That's just, I'm just thinking that has nothing. I'd have no proof. I'm not saying that's true. And, got to watch my ass on that one, because a lot of these people, these influencers and giant YouTubers from old Vine and all these assholes, they have a huge following, and on top of that, they definitely have a lot of money. And when they have a lot of money, they like to sue people. And I mean, he already openly admitted he was going to sue, when all they were doing was doing their bickering back and forth to really hype up their purse. I think Dylan even probably got paid under the table. Like, he knew there was a chance to lose, just like with I think almost every one of these fights have been loaded, that they've all been paid off. That's just what I think. Because I don't know, it's suspicious that they're picking these people who probably could use the extra mil. Now, he bet his purse. Yeah, he bet his purse. That doesn't mean he didn't get paid under the table. So if I'm going to be in a situation, say I fought Jake Paul, and they're like, look, you could win $40 million if you beat me, but I'm at a disadvantage, okay? And they're like, well, we'll pay you $2 million if you just take a dive. Yeah, I'm probably going to take the dive. $2 million would pay off a lot of shit. If you have a lot of fucking gambling debt or whatever the fuck's going on, yeah, you're going to take that bet. You're going to go. I'd roll with it. I ain't no reason not to. Hell, you got me completely messed up if you think I ain't going to go for it. But the only reason why I don't think I could go for it is because me as a person, I don't think a lot of money is going to change who I am. I don't think I could go for that. But I wouldn't be going into YouTube boxing anyway. If there would be anybody I'd probably go up against, it'd be like H3, and I just think he would be pathetic in that in itself, because you can clearly tell he's never lifted a weight in his life besides a sandwich. And this is a fat guy telling another fat guy you're fat. Like, that's just how it is. But anyway, all these jokes aside, all I got to say is, enjoy Spider-Man 2, and I think the fights are rigged. That's about all I can say about this, but yeah, other than that, sorry that I'm a little down, kind of waking up. I haven't really woke up yet. But also, on a side note, I'm going to try to get out more videos as soon as I can. I'm going to start getting these done right, and the editing should be quicker. I've gotten better with my editing software, so I might be able to get more videos out. So if you like this video and you like my rambling, please like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. It does not hurt my feelings. Y'all have a good one.